If you are middle-aged, let's hope that you are exercising and doing things for yourself, because we've learned from a study that it could be damaging if you're not. And Warren Honeycutt, fitness expert, 6-time Mr. America finalist, guy who's in pretty decent shape, joins us on AM Tampa Bay. And Warren, tell us about this study and what it might mean to people who are reaching middle age.
Well, the short version is this study was done actually over a period of 20 years, so it was not a 2-week deal. And they looked at people, in particular males for the most part, at 40, and the people that were overweight, out of shape, were more likely, well, they weren't more likely, those guys did have a shrinkage of their brain at age 58, 59, 60 when they redid the study with the same group. And this really just confirms, guys, the fact that exercise helps not only the muscle, and we always talk about, toning and shaping and trimming the muscle and, the bone density and all the things, losing weight that exercise brings about. But we overlook, for the most part, that exercise helps the brain. And not only helps it, but keeps it young for years and years past the time that most people's brains start to shrivel up.
I know aging generally leads to all kinds of body parts shriveling up.
Yep.
Won't go into any detail on that, but I know this thing talked about smoking, obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, things like that.
Yeah. Any and all of those, or any ill effect on health, is put in a situation of the percentage of risk going down and down and down the more you exercise and the better shape you're in. And there's been tons of studies. I mean, people like Salk Institute and National Institute of Health that points out that exercise, especially aerobic exercise, stimulates not just the muscle and the lungs and the respiratory as well as circulatory system, but the brain. And the way it does it, I'm not a doctor, so I don't even profess to get into all of the medical detail, but the way it does it simply is the exercise that takes the heart rate up is effective in helping the brain produce more cells and more synapses. And there is a study from, trying to think of who it is, National Institute of Health, that people that do exercise are twice as less likely to have Alzheimer's and dementia as they age.
Let me ask you this now. If you were out of shape in your 40s and you tried to get into shape in your 60s, does that make any difference?
Absolutely.
Really?
As a matter of fact, there's other studies that have been done with people that are in nursing homes in their 80s and 90s in wheelchairs. And especially on that side for resistance training, it is the best. And in a couple of months, a lot of them are out of their wheelchairs and moving about. And, what a magnificent benefit to be able to move rather than, have to sit in a wheelchair.
So there's hope for you two then, right?
There's hope.
I think so.
There's hope as long as there's breath. And the body is an incredible, miraculous mechanism. And when we give it the proper attention, it will help us live a full life for all of our lives. And we want to take care of our body. After all, it's the only place we're ever going to have to live.
That's very
Amen.
true.
Amen.
When you talk about aerobic exercise, give us an example of the kind of exercises that would be good.
Well, anything that gets the heart rate up. I mean, it can be swimming, tennis, basketball, racquetball, even dancing, if it is done in a vigorous way. And so the power walking especially is a great exercise. And even if you have, some issues with knees and ankles and backs, most people can walk. And all of those things get the heart rate up and thereby increase flow to the brain, and the brain benefits. We need to look at the brain no different than we look at any muscle in our body. If we use it, it gets better. If we don't, we lose it.
Well, we appreciate your joining us here. Do you have a website?
Yeah, Jack, Ted, it is gethoneycutt.com.
GetHoneycutt.com, HONEYCUTT.com. Fitness expert and 6-time Mr. America finalist.
6-time, you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, his head must be so big he can't even walk through a door. It's so healthy then, right?
Well, I started when I was a kid and loved it, and at 63 now, have perfect health, no medications, and I contributed all to lifestyle.
Do you have to have people help you hold your head up then? It's so big, or what?
Because his brain is enlarged.
The head kind of shrunk as I began to, get more into the national competition and seeing the guys that, always placed first in front of my second and third. has a humbling effect.
It does, doesn't it?
I'll bet that does. Hey, Warren, thanks for joining us on AM Tampa Bay.
Thank you, Warren.
Thank you, guys.